Jeremy Scahill, thank you, chatters. Jeremy Scahill's take on this as well is the same, which is that the Obama administration did not want to go as far as pursuing Julian Assange under the Espionage Act, which the Trump administration absolutely went that far and decided to hell with the precedent that it sets. We don't mind destroying publishers like this. Okay, so for him to talk about Julian Assange in this way is kind of weird.
Life ruined because of it. It's a really sad story. Edward Snowden, I mean, think about that bravery. For me, I was quite young when that was going on. But I mean, the idea of saying, hey, whistleblowing, actually, we've got some corruption going on. They're not being honest with the American people. You could have had a chance to pardon these individuals. Why decide not to in that moment?
You have two sides of it. In one case, you have like sort of a spy deal going on, and in another case, you have somebody that's exposing real corruption.
Right.
I feel a little bit, I won't say which one, but I feel a little.
I wonder if this guy who said, imagine defending monkeys burning down cities, you fucking towelhead, will get permanently banned from the platform. You know, in a similar capacity to how many fucking chatters have been banned for saying cracker, including chatters who weren't even using cracker against like white people, but just like some people I've seen that have gotten banned for fucking saying cracker, like, and the mods misunderstood. I mean, we banned him from this. We banned him from this page, but I wonder how quickly this guy will get clapped in a similar capacity. Who knows? By the way, Twitch, like, for the record, for those of you watching, if the Twitch admins and mods are watching, like this, we deal with this on a daily basis. Some of my mods that you fucking clapped for saying cracker deal with this shit on a daily basis. It's just a regular occurrence. I personally don't care, you know, because I am fucking white in the end, and so it doesn't impact me personally, but I totally understand why people of color would absolutely see this as a less safe space overall. My man's got a TTV handle and everything too. Idiot probably thought he was on a stock account.
A little bit more strongly about one than the other.
Right.
And you probably understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But I could have done it, but I will say you have people on both sides of that issue, good people on both sides, and you have some bad people on one side. But I decided to let that one ride, let the courts work it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the courts are actually doing that.
Yeah, these are big decisions.
Yeah. In a certain way, you know, you have a country and there was some spying things and there was some bad things released that really set.
You don't think things affect you just because you are not the same race as them? First of all, I am white. I'm very privileged so that I am seen as like the default character in most situations as a cishet white dude, or white passive if you want to say that. So yeah, I'm pasty as fuck. So no, it doesn't harm me in any way because it's not associated to any like historic or ongoing oppression. That's the point. At that point, it's just like you're being mean, and that's it. And if you're crying about it, then you're a giant pussy, incredibly frail, incredibly fragile human being.
Set us back and really hurt us with what they did. You understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, in many cases, what they did, these are the same people that came after me so viciously and dishonestly. Yeah. So, you know.
That's why I thought, hey.
So I say, come on, courts,
if I'm in your circumstance, I'm going, you know what?
Yeah, well, you can I could have gone, I was very close to going the other way.
Yeah, I think you were too nice.
I might have been too nice.
Might have been a little too nice.
I've been known for being very nice.
Yeah. And loyal, and loyal to people that have not always been loyal to you.
Very loyal. Most have. You know, we don't read about them. We had a great administration, but I put some people in that didn't do the job. They just didn't do it. And I guess maybe on purpose they didn't do it. You know, it's one of those things. You put people in. Now I know everybody in Washington. I know the good, I know the bad, I know the ugly. But I had some people that I wouldn't have put in retrospect, but I had mostly great.
Some guy in LSF was saying, first of all, some guy in LSF was saying, using Hassan's argument of historical weight, I can call him a roach because I'm Croatian and Turkey oppressed us. Yeah, that's an immediate self-report that you're coming directly from Pole. But also, imagine getting fucking oppressed by roaches, dude. That's a self-own more than anything else. I mean, I just wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't be like, man, these Turk roaches. Okay, well they fucking owned you. So what's up? You think that's okay? Like you're just admitting that you're worse than that? That's crazy. Holy shit, dude. It's wild.
Great people. We had great people.
What does that make you then?
The military, largest tax cuts in history, largest regulation cuts in history, regulatory cuts. We did a lot of things,
and you
but
did it with under fire.
I did it.
At
You
all
know,
times.
it's funny, and I've been using this expression a little bit lately. I said, I had two jobs: to run the country and to survive, because I was under fire. No prep. From the day I came down the escalator with our first lady, I came down that escalator and I was under investigation. From the day I came, never in my life was I had every single aspect, everything I ever did for years. A friend of mine said, you have to be the most honest person in the world to have survived that. If they catch a comma, if they catch a misspelling word, they'll give you things, and they don't do it with the other side. They do that with Republicans, but me was the ultimate example. So number one, I wanted to run the country properly, and we did. You didn't see Taiwan, you didn't see Ukraine, you didn't see all of these problems that are happening that is so embarrassing. The pullout of Afghanistan was the worst event. By the way, I was all for getting out. I'm the one that brought it down to 2,500.
Bro, it's so awesome. It's so awesome where you simultaneously have to take credit for being anti-war, but then also have to shit on the exact same strategy followed through by the next administration. It's dope. Everything he said, I forgot about how much he contradicts himself on a regular basis in like every fucking what? You're right, but that has some bad connotations for the Cuban Gusano argument. Wait, what? No, it doesn't. People, what are you talking about? Cuban people that live in Cuba that consider counter-revolutionary anti-Cuba Cubans, Gusanos, or worms also are the ones who fucking owned them. So it's not like, the fuck do you mean? There's no bad connotation for that. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, we gotta stop. Oh god, I gotta stop reading the chat. Everyone is like really desperate to get my attention right now. Just fucking spilled off. Holy shit. Spilled all over myself. Move on from the just move on from this guy just trying to bait you. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's keep going.
100 soldiers, actually 2,000 soldiers, and they would never have even touched us.
But I think the frustration on the Republican side, and this is why I said I want to talk a lot about Republican frustrations, is that we see the corruption, right? It doesn't seem like anybody ever pays for the corruption.
Yeah.
And right now we're seeing corruption live, even in terms of big pharma, which is a huge topic on the minds of mothers especially. You're seeing what's happening at these school board meetings. Where do you stand?
By the way, speaking of big pharma, didn't Pfizer like finally come out with a fucking pill that as of today the FDA has given an emergency use authorization as of like last night or today to a pill that is a COVID recovery pill. So, you know, there's going to be an expensive Pfizer pill that you can fucking take if you're so adamant about, you know, getting owned by COVID. Like definitely getting COVID. If you want that, then, you know, turns out you can just, there's another pill. I wonder if they're going to be against that too. There's a Merc pill as well. I hope that... Wait, what? Dude. I already ran the top of the hour ad break, okay? Chatter who said, I can't believe you pandered to Candace Owens, but not to Thab. The top of the hour ad break, which is funny. A very funny way to try to get me on that. Your take on Turkey enslaving Serbia, Croatia, and other Balkan countries is very bad. What is my take on it? I don't think it's good that that happened, but if you're gonna say that like someone is a cockroach because you were oppressed or enslaved by the Turks, I'm trying to explain to you why that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You said we got wrecked? Yeah. If you're saying like, oh, you fucking owned me, you destroyed my country, you cockroach, I can call you a cockroach. I'm explaining to you why that is still insignificant because of the historical oppression, which I recognize. What do you want me to do? I feel like, dude, it's so funny. These motherfuckers straight out want me to be like upset and offended that they're calling me a cockroach or a Turk roach. And then when I say, why would I be offended? Because the historical context isn't there. Like you're just, you know, getting angry from a place of holding an L. And then you fucking lose your mind over it. Like, what would it have been better if I got angry or something and been like, oh man, I'm so offended you called me a Turk roach? Is that... My man just got upset that I was consistent in my position that like it straight up doesn't fucking matter. You sound like Bruno about the N-word? No, dude, there's a difference. That's the point. The difference is, yes, if you are the oppressor, if you are the imperial power, then yes, of course, it doesn't fucking matter what the oppressed people have decided to call you. Okay? Because there is no actual oppression tied to that word. That's the point. God damn. Do not Balkan post. Yeah, you're right.
Stand on these vaccine mandates, and obviously I know that you are pro-vaccine. Obviously, you did everything you could to get this vaccine out. I know where you stand on the vaccine.
It was one of the greatest achievements. We did it in less than 9 months, and
to be able to do that.
Yeah,
but now it's taken a twist, right? It's gotten, now we went from this is a good thing and people should have this option to military men, you're going to have to resign because you're not getting this vaccine. Where do you stand on that?
Well, I stand on forget about the mandates. People have to have their freedom, but at the same time, the vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind. We would have had in 1917, remember the Spanish flu, killed perhaps 100 million people. Actually, it ended the First World War because the soldiers were so, a lot of people don't know that. The soldiers got so sick. It was a terrible thing. There were no vaccines. There was no anything. I came up with a vaccine, with 3 vaccines. All are very, very good. Came up with 3 of them in less than 9 months. It was supposed to take 5 to 12 years.
And yet more people have died under COVID this year, by the way, under Joe Biden, than under you. And more people took the vaccine this year. So people are...
This is the best part of the interview, where she's still trying to keep it on the rail, okay? But it's going off the rails. Because, like, Donald Trump is saying shit that she did not think he was going to say. Right? And she's just like, but, like, more people have died under Joe Biden? Yeah. Who? Who's dying under Joe Biden? First of all, that is absolutely institutional failure. The fact that 57% of COVID fatalities that have occurred under the Biden administration in a post-vaccine world is psychotic. Okay? It is insane. It's a complete catastrophic institutionalized failure. Okay? That's true. That's Biden's America. Except everyone that's dying is an anti-vaxxer. Like, pretty much every single motherfucker who's died is unvaccinated. Now, the failure of the government in that situation is that is the reality that they're not taking swift and decisive and, yes, authoritarian action for the public good. Okay? But if the Biden administration operated in the way that I want them to operate, okay, and forcibly inoculated every fucking red state resident who's like terrified of getting a vaccine, then these guys would be losing their minds. They'd probably fucking rise up against the government with arms. The failure of the Biden administration is because they were not authoritarian enough. They were behaving in the very, they were behaving in a very like liberal and very fucking, you know, Republican approved way. What do you mean inoculated? Just like mass vaccination campaigns, mass inoculation. Forcing inoculations, as much as I'd love that, creates a dangerous precedent though. Oh yeah, has it? Because we have done it in the past. So maybe, you know, learn about America's history a little bit before you fucking say, oh, it's a very dangerous precedent. The reason why we don't have fucking smallpox outbreaks in the same capacity is because they fucking literally would go in, cops would go into fucking people's houses and sit them down, handcuff them, and inoculate them. Okay? So, no, there wasn't a dangerous precedent. I wish we had set that dangerous fucking precedent so we could have literally, you know, not have this issue at this moment. A government is supposed to operate in a way where it protects the safety of Lamau, nice fascism moron. You are currently talking about the United States of America as a fascist state. I'm describing to you what the United States of American government has done in the past. Okay? Forcible inoculations have occurred in the past during smallpox outbreaks. Okay? So if you're considering America fascist for that reason and not fascist for, I don't know, white supremacy, institutionalized racism, slavery, you know, really, really holding back on abolishing it and fighting to death before you abolish it and then deciding maybe 100 more years is necessary for codified institutionalized racism in the form of the Jim Crow laws, redlining, and its contemporary effects, the American criminal justice system, and also, this is before we get to, that's just domestic policy, this is before we get to foreign policy in the form of imperialism, death, destruction, 300 plus military bases all around the fucking planet, running a fucking protection racket, basically like the mafia, all around the world, while we just keep pumping them full of fucking guns that we sell, small arms, and also rockets and shit that we sell to all these other countries so that our military industrial complex can make money. If that's not fascism, okay? Whipping migrants at the fucking border, using a COVID era, a Trump era COVID CDC regulation called Title 42 to deny asylum seekers their legal right, their moral and legal right to fucking seek asylum on U.S. state, on U.S. soil. That's not fascism. Fascism is when you forcibly fucking give someone a life-saving vaccine so they don't die alone, desperate, crying with a fucking vent shoved down their gullet. I'm sorry. Some of these motherfuckers deserve what is coming to them, which is precisely why when I see the, the Joe Biden administration say that a cold winter is coming for you, I don't bat an eye. I mean, it's just like they have failed. Okay. And they're admitting that they have failed. But like, you kind of do deserve what's coming for you. Like, you really do. Because you think mass inoculations are fascism. You don't think 700, 800,000, 900,000 people that have died as a consequence of like getting COVID, a preventable fucking situation. That's not anything bad. It's actually preventing them from dying. I'm American, damn it. I can die if I want to. That's basically what you're saying. Fascism is when people don't, fascism is when people don't die to preventable illnesses and diseases. Anyway. Don't slide off that fucking slippery slope, my friend, but we have done this in the past. So this hoodie is comfy as fuck, by the way. Hell yeah, let's go. All right, let's continue. But as I was saying, I mean, fuck the idiotic like fascism argument, all this shit. But you know, ultimately, the Biden administration has failed. It is ridiculous that we have vaccines and more people are fucking dying. 1,300 people are dying on average a day in America right now. We don't even talk about it. We've like completely fucking forgotten that that is a thing that is going on. When 1,000 people were dying under the Trump administration, we were losing our fucking minds, understandably so. That's 1,000 people dying a day. That's a whole ass 9/11 every 3 days, dude. That's crazy. And we're back to that. And guess what? All those motherfuckers that are dying, nearly every single one of them are not vaccinated. It's bananas that people are just like, no, it's my right to fucking kill myself and others around me. So I say, fuck them. Sorry. If you want to die that fucking badly, go ahead, dude. Go the fuck ahead, baby. Go off, kings and queens. You know? I don't know what to say. But then, when I make fun of that, then it's like, whoa, you're such a bad person, dude. You're such a bad fucking person. Well, you wanted to die. I'm giving you what you want. What do you mean? I watched my brother's video the other day about quitting his ICU nursing job, and it's crazy how many people have reached out to him because they did the same thing. Yeah. It's we did. We watched Andrew, friend of the show, Intelligent. I don't know if he's in here right now, but talking about how many like nurses are just fucking exhausted and fucking killing themselves over this crazy shit. Wild to me that people just like straight up want to die, but when you point it out and you say, go ahead, okay, go ahead, you can kill yourself, then fuck it, you know, whatever, then it's like, whoa, how dare you do that, how dare you fucking say that? Well, it's like, but that's what you wanted. What do you want me to do? You don't want me to help you. Anyway, let's keep going.
Questioning how.
Well, no, the vaccine worked, but
yeah.
Some people aren't taking it. The ones that get very sick and go to the hospital are the ones that don't take the vaccine. But it's still their choice. And if you take the vaccine, you're protected. Look, the results of the vaccine are very good. And if you do get it, it's a very minor form. People aren't dying when they take the vaccine.
What about the masking of children? That's a big one for moms.
Like, let's move on from this fucking people aren't dying because they take the vaccine argument. Trump, I don't like what you're saying here. What about something else? Let's talk about something else. Stop saying that.
It's a terrible thing. I think it's a terrible thing.
That flies in the face of science. The kids have a virtual 0% chance of dying of COVID, and yet they're insisting on these vaccine mandates. I mean, I'm sorry, on these masking mandates, and now even the vaccine mandates for small children. And what's going on there? I
think what's happening is you look at the masks where Fauci and a lot of other people said masks don't mean anything. All of a sudden he becomes a radical masker. Crazy. I don't like to see the kids with the masks on. They're sitting in school. They have a hard enough time sitting in school.
Looks like China. I've been to China.
Well, and yet China's education system's a hell of a lot better than ours. You know what? They're rated number 2 or 3, and we're rated number 44.
But masking children, I mean,
no, it's bad.
The way it looks.
I love this take, bro. I mean, he's right. It's so crazy. Bro, why are so many fucking miskids so reactionary? It's weird. Sorry, I can't stop. It's like, I just keep seeing them fucking reply to some of you guys in my community, and it's like, every time I click on their profile, they like retweeted Miskiv. What happened? I thought Miskiv was like picking up all the Minecrafters, but there's so many fucking weirdos. Like, every time I see like one of these edge cases, first of all, I got to point something out. Misgift, probably not a fan of the type of shit that you're saying on the timeline. Okay. I'm just going to point that out to you. Megasoys. And they like find, you know, weird like edge replies that they reply to. Like when I'm talking to Kevin Abstract, I said, when are you coming on the broadcast, Kevin? And then this motherfucker will be like, broadcast is mostly just Azan whining he can't use racial slurs for the past 2 weeks. Hassan Fox is the action. So show is neurodivergent in action. Give us that communist millionaire money. Woo. You mean the old Karl Marx talking point? Communism equals no millionaires? Lamafal. This is what happens when kids are indoctrinated by a nut job. This is what happens when a kid is when a millionaire teaches communism to his neurodivergent fan base. He just keeps using neurodivergent. Bro, you're like a Misgift fan. Why are you fucking making fun of people who are neurodivergent? Like, I just don't understand. So strange. What a strange fucking take from this guy. And then boom, I click on his profile and it's like retweeted fucking Misgift. What are you doing? You're looking bad. You're looking like a bad person. Those kids are either 14 or was 14 in 2009 and stuck there mentally and parroting that dumbass dad wearing too tight Under Armour fitted hat. Yeah, that's what happens when you can't, you know, enough brain juices aren't flowing. Is neurodivergent the politically correct way of saying the R word? Yes, 100%. All right, let's keep going.
Right? It doesn't look like a free country.
I'm against it.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
I'm really glad to hear that. And I think that your supporters will be really glad to hear that because no one really kind of got a clear understanding of, hey, vaccine's great, but you know, people should have a right to choose.
I'm so proud of what we did with the vaccine, but it shouldn't be mandated, and it just shouldn't be. And you know, the other thing is, a lot of people that get it, you had it. Did you get COVID?
No.
You didn't get it?
Doesn't like me.
Did you have the vaccine?
No. Doesn't like him.
That's a lie. She went to Madison Square Garden, no? Didn't she actually get vaccinated? She's like straight lying right now, isn't she? Probably got a fake card. It's literally a fucking felony or something. I think a lot more EU Andes are staying up to hate watch you after the C word incident. Bro, if you're from the EU, the word cracker is not your business. See yourself out of NA business, okay? You have your own version of like racism to fucking deal with, okay? Like where, you know, you have like weird ethnic slurs that we don't even know about. Just worry about that shit. Okay? Worry about that shit. You got healthcare. Shut the fuck up. Like, that's the weirdest thing. Whenever like EU motherfuckers are like, I am actually very offended by the word cracker. It's like, bro, what do you mean? This is like not your thing. Okay? Just see yourself out of NA people business. Lied to her Lord and Savior. She's going to hell. Bro, Candace Owens is definitely going to hell. Okay? If there is a hell, Candace Owens 100% is going there. Okay? Wait, Ben Garrison? Oh my God, Ben Garrison's turning on Trump? They're booing him. Oh no. Oh no, Ben Garrison turned on Trump? He's not even, I mean, he's still drawing him kind of sexy. That relationship could be salvaged. Bro. It's over. DeSantis 2024, baby. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the fucking writing on the wall, dude. That was a great impression, but a terrible take. Shut up, EU Andy. See yourself out of NA business, okay? The term cracker, or the white-black dynamic, well, it still certainly exists in the EU as well, is like a very American conversation, okay? It's a very NA conversation, which is why 90% of the fucking EU Andes will always be like, why are these Americans always talking about race? I don't understand it. It's very weird. Instead, they should hate the Romani people, you know, the Roma people instead, like we do. Like, that's usually what the EU Andes say, unless they're Swedish, in which case, you know, they're like the most offended by the term cracker for some weird reason. A lot of the reactionary Swedes. It's like, why are you involving yourself in NA conversations like this? Yeah, Candace almost spotted the UFC event where vaccinations are required. That's why I said she was at Madison Square Garden. So either she used a fake vaccination, card, which is illegal as fuck. The same content creators that insist Sweden is Swedistan now. Or she just straight up is lying about her vaccination status. One or the other. Okay, let's keep going though.
And I've been all around the world. I don't know. I think they should study me. They should study me.
They're afraid.
Doesn't like me. Yeah.
It's a scary thing, but it's afraid of you.
My husband had it though.
Yeah, but now your husband is now essentially immune. He's got a protection.
They won't even talk
They won't
about
give they won't give credit to people that had it that aren't going to catch it a second time. You know, it's a very strong form of immunity. So they're crazy.
Why are you hating from outside the club? EU, you can't even get in? Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm in America, baby. So same could be said to you, bitch.
Well, here's to go. Here, talk about corruption. I mean, you're a businessman. Imagine I make a product and then you mandate that every single person has to buy my product. And this is why people are wondering, you know, is there a little bit of corruption going on here at the top?
Well, this is worse because it's going into your system.
Right.
You know, so this isn't just a product. This is a product that's going.
Whenever people say you can't get reinfected or anything along those lines, like anything that you imply about like reinfection rates, I present to you Jair Bolsonaro, okay? He has gotten COVID like 14 times. Okay? My man has gotten, he has his like own version of COVID just in his own body. Okay? Don't act like you can't get reinfected. You definitely can get reinfected, dude. He's collecting him like Pokemon cards, dude. He's got the most amount of COVID. Yeah. He's just more COVID than man now.
Going into your system. And some people don't agree with it, and some people have religious problems, and they have a lot of other things.
You've always respected the religious.
I totally do, and I totally respect somebody saying we don't want to take it. And we have a massive, you know, we will soon have a massive amount of immunity, including the people that got it. But the mandates are killing our economy. You know, if you look about what's going on with our economy and jobs, where the jobs are so few right now, I mean, the numbers are terrible. Because a lot of people can't go to work. They don't want to go to work. They can't. They can't because people won't take them because of the mandate. No, the mandate's bad for a lot of
the military.
reasons.
I mean, can you imagine where these are great individuals
and people
that we
are
want
leaving.
defending us, and they're leaving. We should never.
Leaving.
I don't mean to be condescending, but did people really think getting the vax kept you from getting infected rather than help you fight it off? How does that even make sense? Yes, people did think that, which is understandable because some vaccines do offer that kind of protection to you. Okay, some vaccines are specifically for that purpose. There was a lot of miscommunication, and in the alpha variant, actually, the alpha variant originally, like the regular Wuhan version, the original Pfizer, Moderna, even J&J to a certain degree, did offer you protection from getting the alpha variant, but the Delta variant, which of course mutated in an unvaccinated area, created breakthrough cases. So the new version was better than the old version, and then you could still catch COVID. But yes, the efficacy still, the strongest efficacy still was on the side of not getting the worst symptoms. That always was the case.
I feel like our country is being left defenseless.
Yeah,
and that it's a scary, scary,
it's a very
scary
bad thing.
Bro, it's so stupid. Like, whenever people talk about the military, I mean, I've said this a million times, but like, anytime people talk about the fucking military, it's like, shut up. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Holy shit, dude. They pump. First of all, when you're in the military, you eat MREs, okay? So that's like automatically, you are not allowed to ever ask questions about what the fuck is in a vaccine. But then also on top of that, you get hit with a cocktail anyway when you join the military. They line you up and they fucking jab you. That's before we, you know, talk about all the other experimental drugs that they fucking give you, like shit that actually gives you cancer. Before we even talk about like burning tires outside of fucking forward operating bases that actually does give you lung cancer, but then the VA doesn't want to actually pay for your health care. So they'll fight you tooth and nail. Because before we talk about the fucking go juice that you're slamming, okay? Or even during Operation Desert Storm when they gave you an anthrax vaccine that also was experimental and potentially, I mean, like experimental to the degree where like it was never used on the population. It's just so stupid. You're literally you're a boot, okay? When you're in the military, you are a tool. And the American government does not give a fuck about you. They will test, they will do nuclear testing on you, they will radiate your body, they will give you all different kinds of fucking psychotic vaccines that are fake. This is the first time, as a matter of fact, you're getting something that is like actually being used on the entirety of the American population. I was in Afghanistan in 2007 and American soldiers gave us kids MREs and it was the most disgusting shit ever. What the fuck? When you said I was in Afghanistan in 2007, I didn't think you were going to say as an Afghan child. I don't usually hear that. MREs are good as fuck, Lamau. You are out of your fucking mind, okay? MREs are fucking disgusting, okay? They are disgusting. Unless you're talking about the pizza one, that's kind of fine, I guess. There's like 3 fucking MREs that are okay. All the other ones are disgusting. To be fair, though, I have tried. Shouts out to Cleric. The MRE that I tried was, you know, it was bad. It had gone bad already.
Now it's changing. I'll tell you, I've never seen anything like it. The last week or so, they're saying, all right, we're going to take the mandates off. You know, it's very interesting because they're losing all of these incredible people. They're just not willing to do the work. And now,
comparing MREs to galley food in the Navy, they're definitely way better. The only fucking Navy food that we've seen, I've heard this as well, but the only Navy food that we've seen is like on their best night when they're making like pizza. I mean, it's automatically always fucking pizza is the best food you're going to get. There you go. What were they doing on that fucking ship when we watched that? They were eating like pizza and ice cream night or something. Anyway.
Now, you have to understand, I'm a big fan of the vaccine. I'm not going to give that up. That's a great achievement. That's millions and millions of lives I saved, okay? You know, it's very, very interesting where Biden said anybody that lost that many lives should resign. Well, now he's lost more lives, so.
Oh, no, sorry. It was submarine food because you're stuck. I thought submarine food was good. But then again, you're fucking stuck for like 6 months without any contact whatsoever. So that's probably the reason why they have to fucking give you like decent food. Anyway, let's pull this back.
Go to work. They don't want to go to work. They can't. They can't because people won't take them because of the mandate. No, the mandate's bad for a lot of
the
different
military.
reasons.
I mean, can you imagine where these are great individuals that
people
we
are
want
leaving.
defending us,
Yeah.
and they're leaving. We should
They're
never.
leaving.
I feel like our country is being left defenseless.
Yeah,
and it's a scary,
it's a very bad thing. Now it's changing. I'll tell you, I've never seen anything like it. The last week or so, they're saying, "All right, we're going to take the mandates off." You know, it's very interesting because they're losing all of these incredible people. They're just not willing to do the work. Now, you have to understand, I'm a big fan of the vaccine. I'm not going to give that up. That's a great achievement. That's millions and millions of lives I saved, okay? You know, it's very interesting where Biden said anybody that lost that many lives should resign. Well, now he's lost more lives, so his statement was sort of an incredible statement.
Speaking of Joe Biden, who I think has been a gift to you in many ways, I thought, you know what, I was hard.
That is kind of true. Candace Owens is a dumbass, but Joe Biden has been kind of a gift to Donald Trump. His administration is so dog shit, dude. His current administration is so bad. Oh my God, the fucking ineptitude is off the charts. And the media complacency alongside that ineptitude makes it even worse because it makes Donald Trump look more serious and more real about all of his fucking, you know, all of the anger and the resentment that the American people feel. It's great. Wonderful. I love working side by side with the most reactionary force in this country to basically hand deliver and gift wrap a second Trump term to the American population. It's awesome. Great.
For me, and I'm injecting myself here, but to see a good side. And now I actually think that a lot of people are now awake to a lot of the things that you ran on. That seemed crazy to them in the beginning.
Well, they're seeing that our policies were very good. That's for sure.
And this is the toughest question I could possibly ask you. Tell me one good thing Joe Biden has done in office.
Well, the one good thing is that he showed how bad it is with this kind of a philosophy. Because we won the election, but if it was...
But like, the thing is, and this is why American politics is dog shit. It's just a fucking dog and pony show. It's just pure theater, right? Joe Biden, like, reactionary conservatives getting mad at Joe Biden is hilarious because he has done every single thing that the Trump administration has done and then some. Okay? The only difference between the Joe Biden admin and the Trump admin is that, like, he's not out there on the bully pulpit being like, yeah, we got to make sure we got white immigration, Jack, not black immigration. Like, he's not doing that. But the same white nativist immigration policies are still in place. Okay? Using the exact same policies that the Trump administration put forward, by the way, and even fighting to maintain those white nativist immigration policies in the court system. Like, that's what Joe Biden's prosecutors are doing at the moment. Okay? So there's that reality. And on the other hand, like, you got nothing. You got nothing out of, like, police reform or anything like that. There is no domestic or foreign policy change. And the only thing that Joe Biden actually did follow through on was Trump's policy of Afghanistan evacuation. So if you're fucking complaining about Joe Biden, you're basically saying the TV man is not telling me things I want to hear, and you're not paying attention to the policies. Because the policies are the fucking same. It's so weird.
More standard where we actually took office, people would have been criticizing, why didn't you do this? Now when they look at the border, when they look at Afghanistan, when they look at all the horror shows of what's taken place, when they look at inflation, inflation's eating us alive, and they refuse to admit it. The only thing they have going is they have an unbelievable press. The press, no matter what they do, the press, you notice, doesn't talk about Afghanistan. I haven't heard any. We gave $85 billion, lost so.
Yeah, what happened to Afghanistan? Does anyone think about Afghanistan anymore? The only person I've seen talk about Afghanistan is Timothy Chalamet, who, like, is selling sexy hoodies or something to help Afghan women. Other than that, I haven't seen a single motherfucker who was like, oh, the women of Afghanistan are getting fucking brutalized and murdered by the Taliban. What happened to liberal media that was shitting all over Joe Biden? just straight up fucking doing doo-doo on Joe Biden nonstop. What happened? Why'd they shut the fuck up about Afghanistan? What happened? I'm still pissed I got more money under Trump than Biden. That lives in my brain. Oh, yeah. And those checks had his name on them, too, baby. Right. I still kept mine. It's somewhere around here. I don't think I cashed it. Beautiful. Beautiful mail. Handwritten mail that our glorious Supreme Leader sent me. Yeah. I think it does expire.
Soldiers, tremendously, a large number of very badly wounded soldiers, and all of the other things. Afghanistan, the most embarrassing single day, in my opinion, or week in our country's history. I don't think we've ever had an embarrassment. The press won't talk about it. They won't talk about it. They won't talk about the election either. The reason they won't talk about it is because they know they lost, and they don't want to bring it forward. A lot of cancel culture.
Oh, this is the other thing. The Afghan government's own assets have been fucking frozen since the Taliban took over. So now America is doing what America does best. Okay? Fuck up a country, give the country back to reactionary forces, and then punish the rest of the country by throwing crippling sanctions on them and saying, fuck yourself, go eat shit and die. Okay? And nobody gives a shit. Forgot to mention that. Literally on the news. Literally on the news is Al Jazeera, motherfucker. It's like saying, well, you know, mainstream media is covering this regularly and diligently because Hassan Abi's broadcast talked about it briefly one time. Come the fuck on. Dude, there was wall-to-wall, round-the-clock coverage about Afghan women and their safety. Okay? There was round-the-clock coverage about how Joe Biden is doing the wrong thing. He really flubbed this pullout. He's really fucking up by pulling out of Afghanistan. What happened? I mean, let's look at something here. Google Trends. Okay? Take a look. Huh. That's wild, bro. What happened? That's crazy. Compare that to, I don't know, critical race theory or something. I don't know, it was the biggest story. What happened, guys? Taliban. Huh. Huh. It's almost like everybody gets whipped up in a fucking frenzy over certain issues. I don't want to play with you anymore, USA Probably. State media is completely different, Jesus Christ. They might add you to Fortnite, lol. Wait, what? What do you mean? Here's more trends for the entire... Oh, for the... Yep. Here are the Google Trends in 2021. Look at that, dude. Look at that. Capital, Trump, Biden, Jimmy. Vaccine has always been popping. Suez Canal for a little bit. DMX, RIP. Israel. Euro 2021. Copa America Delta variant. Olympics. Afghanistan. Done. Hurricane Ida. Squid Game. Holy shit. Squid Game had like as much staying power, if not more, than Afghanistan did. Afghanistan fell off. Anyway. What happened? There was 13 service members that died. I thought we were... I thought we were going to never forget about those 13 service members. We were going to put a... We're going to pour beer for them every night. 13 beers on the table, right? What the fuck happened? Where the beers at? Oh my God. I just saw Fiona, I think. Fiona?
Is because of the election. They don't want people talking about the election of 2020 because they lost the election. They know they lost the election.
I love this. I love
this
that.
unselect committee on January 6th. You have an unselect committee of partisan hacks like Adam Schiff. Russia, Russia, Russia. Then it's a scam and he just goes on to the next one. Found out to be a good one thing I'll say, John Durham did a good job in that, but I hope he goes a lot further. But he has the unselect committee. Think of it. All of this work, it turns out to be a scam. Our country doesn't talk about greatness anymore. All they want to do is catch people doing this, catch people doing that. It's a disgrace what's going on in the United States. They talk about the environment. They talk about nothing else. You know, China is opening up a coal plant. I'm not saying good or bad. A coal plant every week. And we're not allowed to do anything. We have to go by the wind. And the wind isn't powerful enough, and it's intermittent and many other problems.
I think most people understand that they're trying to destroy the country.
It's almost like they're trying to destroy.
Yeah, clearly. We're fighting people that actually want to see the destruction of America.
Well, it's hard to believe, but who would think that, right?
I think I mean, it's very clear. It's in our faces. They're not hiding it anymore. What they're putting in the school systems, getting rid of these great men in the military, men and women in the military. Hindsight is 2020.
You know, excuse me. You say that, and I used to hear it. I said,
"No
who
way.
would do that? Who would do that?" It's so obvious. Who wants to have open borders where jails and prisons of other countries are being busloaded into buses and trains and being sent into our country?
Releasing criminals into the streets.
They're releasing prisoners.
They're
releasing murderers, rapists, drug dealers into our country. And you say, who would do that? And they know it's happening, and they just let it happen. We built almost 500 miles of wall. Would have taken 3-4 weeks to finish, complete. And look, it's doing the job anyway because it's tiny sections. But you know what? Who would believe they don't want to finish the wall? Who would believe that? But prisoners being released into our country, and you talk about masks, you talk about mandates, you talk about all this stuff. You come through the southern border, you have no problem. And tremendous diseases coming through, long beyond COVID, coming through our southern border, and they don't want to do anything about it. And how often?
Wait, long beyond COVID? What the fuck does he mean? We got to stop immigration because of diseases is like a super antiquated, super old. But of course, very, I mean, it's just a classic fucking... A classic take. Just racist as fuck.
How often do you see the mainstream or the lamestream media talk about it? You never see it. They don't talk about the border. They don't talk about...
So
He said lamestream. Let's go, dude. My man is killing it, dude. That's hey, got him. Fucking got him. You got. Okay, mainstream or the lamestream. Believe me, they're lame.
I wouldn't even call it.
Well, a lot of them aren't watching.
Yeah, nobody's watching it. I wouldn't even call it mainstream.
That's
I mean, the
true.
views are really low right now.
How about a lamestream?
Yeah, we could send a tweet or a parlor right now, and we could get more views in 5 seconds. So I don't even call it mainstream. But I do want to ask you, hindsight is 2020. Anything that looking back, you think, you know what, I got that one wrong, or I wish I had this knowledge and I could have done something different. You know, I mean, it's easy, obviously. It's hard.
Always. Yeah. By the way, always in any business.
The fucking giant, the Titan, parlor. The incredible website, parlor.
No matter what you do, no matter what your success, you always would do certain things a little bit differently or differently. The biggest, look, we had tremendous success. The border was the strongest it's ever been. The economy was the best in history. And I did it twice. I had to do it after. I had to rebuild it after our friends from China.
Wait, we got to interrupt this because this is one of his greats. You're right. This is one of my favorite Trump moments as well. It's so fucking good. He was the GOAT. He did it like nobody has ever done it. Straight up. This is one of those moments.
Well, that's really good. And you just have a good time. Are you still a believer in Santa? Because at 7 it's marginal, right?
Because at 7 it's marginal, right? Come on. You still a believer in Santa? What an awesome fucking thing to say, dude. Are you still a believer in Santa? Because at 7 it's marginal, right?
Well, you just enjoy yourself. Well, that's really good. And you just have a good time. Are you still a believer in Santa?
Joe Biden would never do that. Joe Biden would never fucking have the courage. Actually, just kidding. Who am I kidding? Joe Biden would absolutely do that. This is some Joe Biden ass shit. Which is why I'm a firm believer that you got to let Joe's freak flag fly. Okay? That is one thing that I think the Democratic Party or the operatives, whatever the fuck, could do to salvage the situation. If you want to improve his approval rating, you got to have that dude go out and fucking cut the malarkey and you know, go full Jack mode.
Either sent us or it came in from China. And they should pay reparations, by the way. They should pay. Even they can't afford to pay the world because there's probably $60 trillion to
Hey, everybody.
They should pay reparations. They should not be allowed to get away with this. And people don't talk about that anymore.
Reparations.
Either. But I would say the big thing would be certain people I would have used differently. I would have put different people in certain positions. If I had a choice, I don't have to go specifically, but I could give you names at a later date. But there'd be people, I had great people too, you know, rebuilding the military, all the things I did. We have great generals, but not the television generals. There were certain people that I would not have put in. I would have put somebody else.
Not that Marxist general, Milley. He's too woke. Not the woke general. He's gay. I love that. It's like conservatives own patriotism so fucking hard that like they will literally turn around and be like, I don't care how decorated of a general you are. You are woke. You are now gay. You are a Maoist. You're like, they literally would like, oh God, boomers are so wonderful. Anybody have the meme I'm talking about where they basically were, they were fucking putting like fingernails on Millie and saying that like he was, you know, feminine and gay, bye and like pink hair. They were yassifying Millie.
But at the time, I had spent 17 days of my life in Washington, D.C., but now I know it better than anybody, and I know the good. I know we have some great people, and I would say probably more than anything else, I would have made certain people, put certain people into positions that I didn't give them. I gave them some.
This is one of the many memes that were out there. Oh, it's so good. I heart CRT. What is this? We're so woke and Marxist even when dropping bombs? Oh yeah, this. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I mean this is a classic meme. New Joe Rogan video calls out Nancy Pelosi. Oh, I'm gonna agree with him on this one for sure.
I took somebody, put them in a position, and I didn't like the job they did.
I think definitely, and perhaps some snakes around you as well.
We had some snakes, yeah. And look, you always do, no matter what business, whether it's politics or anything else, you always do. I had some very loyal people. I had some very disloyal people, very bad people. But, and I think this is true with companies. If you're running a big company, sometimes you make a decision to put somebody there, and it always happens. It's rare that you go through, you know, a long period of time and everybody's just perfect. But I know people that would have done great jobs in certain positions, and I didn't like the jobs that certain people did. And usually I fired them. And every time when you fire somebody, it's a big deal. But usually I fired them. Overall, we had great people.
Yeah. Well, I know that we don't have much time left, so I'm going to toss you a fun one. Alec Baldwin, is he going to get arrested?
I don't know. Look, he's been trouble from the...
Wait, what? Why would he get arrested? What the fuck? Bro, this is, oh God, I love conservatives, man. They just like latch on. That's a fun one, by the way. What a segue. Like, here's a fun one. The top of the hour ad break. Here's a fun one. Manslaughter. You know, at the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. Now, of course, if you want an ad-free broadcasting experience, if you want to have an uninterrupted broadcast experience, all you need to do is subscribe. You can subscribe for $5. You can subscribe, or you can get lucky and get gifted a sub from the likes of Rainbow Bun 623, for example, who gifted 5. Okay. Or if you can't get lucky, you make your own luck with a $5 subscription, or if you don't have $5, with a free one in the form of a Twitch Prime. That's right, folks. Here's the 1-minute ad break now.
Day one, he didn't meet.